Oh my goodness. I am so happy to share with you that I've decided to open up enrollment of my Masterful Living program for a quick window so you can jump on in with all this goodness and fun we're having. Let me ask you a couple of questions. What if you really could release even 25% of the negative choices you make in 1 year? What difference would that make to you and to your family, your business, your health? If you could reduce the negative self-destructive choices by just 25%, that would be huge, wouldn't it? Yeah. Wouldn't you feel a whole lot better about yourself by the end of the year? You bet you would. Wouldn't that actually change the trajectory of your entire life? Of course it would. Now, what if you really could release 10%, just 10% of the false beliefs and the blocks to love that are running your life in the background that you're not even consciously aware of? How would that feel to you? How would that impact your relationships and your work life? For most people, even a 10% change opens up an entirely different life for them, because when we shift our relationships and the way we feel about ourselves and we eliminate self-destructive patterns, everything gets so much easier. That's why spiritual practice actually saves time. Think of this. When NASA sends a rocket to the moon, they plan a trajectory. They have to take into account the weather and the gravitational pull of the Earth and the moon and all the other factors in planning that trajectory. It's a long trip from the Earth to the moon, and a shift in that trajectory, even by 1%, can make the difference in whether or not you actually land on the moon or you miss it entirely. And all throughout the trip, they're course correcting, because that's the only way they're going to hit their goal. If they get tired or they aren't paying attention, it's easy to completely fail, right? You have to keep your eye on that prize. And I know that this is why Spirit guided me to create a program that lasts for an entire year. This way, people can keep making those course corrections and receive all the support they need from the community to keep going, not giving up, not getting distracted, not ending up in failure. See, when we heal our false beliefs and negative patterns, we can actually see new and positive opportunities as they present themselves, because we actually recognize them. When our hearts and minds are filled with the clutter, the fear, the worry, the doubt, the distractions, it's hard to see the forest for the trees. Doing that inner work is what I call taking out the trash. Yes, and it really works. What we're doing when we're taking out the trash is we're clearing the mental and emotional clutter that keeps us repeating the same mistakes and patterns and feeling like a failure, like it's just too darn hard to live a happy, loving life. This is something I know a lot about. I spent a lot of years coping with the trash, trying to manage the trash in my heart and my mind. And what I've learned is that doing this work changes a person's life forever. It sure changed mine. And it's because we're changing our mind. We are not just changing our behavior. We're actually changing the way we look at our life, because we're removing the blocks to love. And that's the difference between working at the level of form, behavior, versus working at the level of the mind, which is shifting our consciousness. The person who does everything right, let's say, to diet and exercise and lose 40 pounds, but doesn't change their mind, doesn't shift their consciousness, will still lose that 40 pounds. But we all know they're probably going to gain the whole thing back plus another 20, because they didn't change their mind. They didn't shift their consciousness. Changing my mind has changed my life. Many years ago, I started on a journey, on a spiritual path. and many years ago. And for a long time, I bought all the right books. I went to so many workshops with the famous teachers, many seminars, many retreats. I went to Sunday services and all of those things. And I literally stuffed myself on spiritual information. I did that for decades. And yeah, I had some progress. There's no question about that. But I knew I really wasn't living it. And so I felt like a fake. And I have talked to so many spiritual students because I've been a spiritual counselor and teacher for more than 20 years now. And a lot of people feel like I used to feel like a fake. And I could see, there were changes happening in my life, but I was not getting the level of growth and expansion and happiness that I just knew had to be possible. I just knew, I could feel it is possible, but maybe it's not possible for me. I couldn't figure out how to get things to really work. I couldn't figure out how to get from the earth to the moon. I couldn't figure out how to get from where I was feeling like a fake and a failure to really feeling spiritually successful. Despite my spiritual studies, I'd get angry and resentful and hurt, and I would spend so much of my time running over these things in my mind and just increasing my sense of agitation and my sense of failure. And hey, my relationships with my family were strained and it was difficult. Forget about being happy. I was really just managing. And I'll be honest with you. I think it's important to be honest. I would secretly overeat and drink and smoke and do all kinds of things to distract myself and to numb myself so I didn't have to feel the feelings, because I felt like I was drowning in a certain way. I couldn't seem to get my head above water, no matter how much spiritual study I did with the best teachers. It still wasn't working for me. I wasn't advancing as much as I thought. My core problems weren't going away. And I was wondering, what on earth could I do? I prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed. And I finally became aware. I had a realization. Information isn't healing. I've been pursuing information, but information isn't healing. I've been collecting information about spiritual truth, but that's not liberating. It's an intellectual pursuit. I had put the ego in charge of my relationship. Yes, I had. My relationship with spirit was in the ego's hands. So reading all these spiritual books, attending all these workshops, and even studying for years or decades doesn't mean your life will improve. And you might end up like me, feeling like this spiritual stuff works for other people, but not for me. So finally realizing that acquiring knowledge is not the same as application, I started to make some real traction in my spiritual practice, in my spiritual awakening. And let's face it, if I am imagining that I need something outside of myself to be better, and my core belief is that I'm not good enough, then nothing from the outside world, no spiritual teacher will ever be enough to satisfy me for even just a few minutes. That's it. That's all I was limited to. Small bites of happiness until I was willing to change my mind, really change my mind. And that takes a practical application. So when I started to do that, I was finally using methods that were effective. And I realized, oh my God, all these years I've been collecting information, that's not effective. These are not effective methods for healing. So through my prayer work, I began to have insights and downloads of methods that were truly helpful, truly effective. Spirit was answering my prayer. So over the course of several years, I began to have truly amazing spiritual progress. And that transformed the way I thought about myself and my life. Everything began to shift for me. I realized that I've become peaceful most of the time. My intuition completely opened up. My heart opened up. And that's when I was guided to put all this that I had worked on and that had worked for me into a year-long program to support folks in not giving up or getting distracted so that they could have the same kind of healing that I was having. And they could get the results that they were looking for real, and not just collecting information. And that's when Spirit gave me the idea to start my Masterful Living program. So in my program, I offer a powerful roadmap, step-by-step directions, how to truly live the teachings of A Course in Miracles, how to identify and release false beliefs and keep them gone forever so that we can live our life to the fullest. I show you how to release the mental blocks to stop getting hurt again and again. I give you clear tools how to forgive yourself and others for painful past experiences so you're no longer motivated by guilt and shame. And most importantly, I share how to connect with your higher Holy Spirit self on a much deeper level and stay connected. My Masterful Living program shows you step by step how to make this year the best year of your life by changing the trajectory of where you're heading. Now, inside my program, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get weekly live Zoom classes with me, plus the recordings and the replays, so you never miss a thing. You're going to get one-on-one sessions with me and with the spiritual counselors I've trained. You're going to get simple tools and practices like meditation and prayer and forgiveness processes that you can use that really work. They are deeply healing. And this builds positive habits for lasting shifts and real result. You're going to get 3 inspiring 400-page workbooks that are specifically designed to support you in your growth and keep you on track. You'll get a private Facebook group and a WhatsApp group where you can connect with all the other participants around the world, and so you can really receive their love and support. That's so powerful to know you can reach out 24/7. You don't have to struggle alone anymore. In fact, you're going to get prayer partners with fellow participants for extra support. And we also have an active prayer ministry that prays together every 3 hours because we got folks all over the world. So we can keep that prayer going every 3 hours, 24/7. And you can join anytime you like. That's up to you. Plus, I'm giving away $750 worth of bonuses, including $500 off of my Stop Playing Small retreat. And that's coming up. You'll be able to make use of that. I'm also offering my 60-day, no questions asked guarantee, money back guarantee. Here's how it works. If you participate for 2 months and you feel like it's not for you, let us know before April 14th and we'll give you a full refund of what you paid if you ask for it. No refund on the workbooks though, they're yours to keep. Sounds pretty simple, right? Money back guarantee, so that just takes the risk away. Try it, you might love it. Now, here's the other thing. It's a year-long program, but you can always withdraw from the program at any point throughout the year. But you have 60 days to decide if it's right for you, completely risk-free. If you'd like to get some real liftoff this year and finally let the past go, please register for my Masterful Living program now so you can get started right away. Registration is closing soon, so please decide now. If you'd like to book a one-on-one exploratory call with a spiritual counselor who can answer all your questions, do that today. We've got that option for you. So you can talk it out with someone who knows and can answer all your questions. All you have to do is click on the link below to make this year the year you decide to walk the talk and live the love. Together, we're going to have fun, we're going to go deep, and we're going to fly high. Even if you don't think it can work for you, I know that it can, and we'll do it together. Come join us. We're going to have a truly great year together. The year that changes everything. Are you in? Are you in? Please say that you are. This is my best program ever. This is the best I've got. Let's do it together. I love you.